Lassie Farm here. All right, from where we left off. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Drink up, said Ford. You've got 3 pints to get through. 3 pints, said Arthur. At lunchtime? The man next to Ford grinned and nodded happily. Ford ignored him. He said, "Time is an illusion. Lunchtime, doubly so." "Very deep," said Arthur. "You should send that in to the Reader's Digest. They got a page for people like you." Drink up. Why 3 pints all of a sudden? Muscle relaxant. You'll need it. Muscle relaxant? Muscle relaxant. Arthur stared into his beer. "Did I do anything wrong today?" he said. "Or has the world always been like this, and I've been too wrapped up in myself to notice?" "All right," said Ford, "I'll try to explain. How long have we known each other?" "How long?" Arthur thought. About 5 years, maybe 6, he said. Most of it seemed to make some kind of sense at the time. "All right," said Ford. "How would you react if I said that I'm not from Guildford after all, but from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Beetlejuice?" Arthur shrugged in a so-so sort of way. "I don't know," he said, taking a pull of beer. "Why do you think it's the sort of thing you're likely to say?" Ford gave up. It really wasn't worth bothering at the moment. What with the world being about to end, he said. "Drink up," he added perfectly factually. "The world's about to end." Arthur gave the rest of the pub another wan smile. The rest of the pub frowned at him. A man waved at him to stop smiling at them and mind his own business. "This must be Thursday," said Arthur to himself, sinking low over his beer. "I never could get the hang of Thursdays." On this particular Thursday morning, something was moving quietly through the ionosphere many miles above the surface of the planet. Several somethings, in fact, several dozen huge, yellow, chunky, slab-like somethings, huge as office blocks, silent as birds. They soared with ease, basking in electromagnetic rays from the star Sol, biding their time, grouping, preparing. The planet beneath them was almost perfectly oblivious of their presence, which was just how they wanted it for the moment. The huge yellow something went unnoticed at Goonhilly. They passed over Cape Canaveral without a blip. Woomera and Jodrell Bank looked straight through them, which was a pity because it was exactly the sort of thing they'd been looking for all these years. The only place they registered at all was on a small black device called a sub-etha sensomatic, which winked away quietly to itself. It nestled in the darkness inside a leather satchel, which Ford Prefect habitually wore slung around his neck. The contents of Ford Prefect's satchel were quite interesting, in fact, and would have made any Earth physicist's eyes pop out of his head, which is why he always concealed them by keeping a couple dog-eared scripts for plays he pretended he was auditioning for stuffed in the top. Besides the sub-etha sensomatic and the scripts, he had an electronic thumb, a short, squat, black rod, smooth and matte, with a couple of flat switches and dials at one end. He also had a device that looked rather like a largish electronic calculator. This had about 100 tiny flat press buttons and a screen about 4 inches square on which any one of 1,000,000 pages could be summoned at a moment's notice. It looked insanely complicated, and this was one of the reasons why the snug plastic cover it fitted into had the words "Don't Panic" printed on it in large, friendly letters. The other reason was that this device was in fact the most remarkable of all books ever to come out of the great publishing corporations of Ursa Minor, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The reason why it was published in the form of a micro sub-Mason electronic component is that if it were printed in normal book form, an interstellar hitchhiker would require several inconveniently large buildings to carry it around in. Beneath that, in Ford Prefect's satchel, were a few ballpoints, a notepad, and a largish bath towel from Marks and Spencer. All right, and we will leave it there. Where am I at? Page 26. Okay, so I can find it next time. Thanks for watching. I'll go paint something obscene on the back of Wayne's trailer.